Ooh. Oh. Oh. Mike, can you hear that?
Yes.
We're entering into spooky season. There's a crispness in the air, leaves beginning to change from a bright, chlorophyll-filled green to a decrepit, death-riddled red and orange. Fear begins to set in. Ooh. Is it the season of ghosts and ghouls? Or is it the seasonal scaries of your club's players getting injured on international duty? I'll tell you what scares me the most. It's not owls. Or ladders. And it's definitely not a phantom trying to rim me in the night while I slumber. You know what it is, Mike?
I'm sure I have no idea.
It's not giving 127.5 fucking % every goddamn day of my life. Luckily, you, listeners, and you, Mike, we're here to protect you like two swashbuckling cocksmen. We're going to commiserate with you as we guide you through another captivating episode of Vino Volley, the podcast of learning, laughing, and libations. I'm your co-host, Ryan Rebecki, and to help to get the ship back on track is your audio captain, Mike Wall. So light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and let us fire an outside-the-box piss missile into your tympanic membranes. Mike, welcome back, and congratulations, our 25th episode.
I'm speechless. I didn't know where we were going with the ghoul sounds. It was a slow start, but you brought the noise and the funk. So yes.
Thanks, man.
Excited for spooky season. Happy 25th episode. Happy 1 year anniversary.
It's crazy. I can't believe we've done this for 1 year.
I
It
know.
literally feels like yesterday we were just like, so the microphone is where you talking to.
It used to be, the microphones used to be on empty wine boxes as
That's
well.
true.
We've
We've come a long way.
come a long way.
Yeah. I still sniff my microphone, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, man, 1 year. It's awesome. You know, it is funny to look back. I did look back. So technically, September was our 1 year because that was the unaired pilot that, well, obviously.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll play the unaired pilot, but I think our first episode was rough enough around the edges that we don't need to further digress.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gone back and listened to our earlier episodes in a very long time. But, you know, we were just feeling things out. It was so new and exciting. It's just like, I'm not going to make up an analogy or a comparison of something about lovemaking, but
good.
But it's been a year. Mike, how are you?
You know what? I'm good. I've had a lot of ups
you look
and
great.
downs. Thank you. You as well, except for the
fucking
massive burn on your hand.
Massive second-degree burn on my hand.
Maybe we'll take a picture of that for the listeners out there to see what Ryan is dealing with. Although it's an audio medium, you know, you got to hold that wine glass. Yeah, I know. What are we gonna do? Yeah, so you know, ups and downs. My golf game is gone to shit. That's one of the downs. Not to shit. It's a little funhouse mirror.
I feel like fall is a tough time for your golf game. I feel like we have this conversation around this time every year.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I went out and it's been lumped in with the good is wine season.
It sure is.
We're starting to make wine again, Justin and I, and so we played his course, which is not an easy course. Like you got to have everything dialed in, and
well established.
It just wasn't dialed in, and so. Some things to mull over, some things to work on in the off season. Cautiously optimistic. Mentally, I'm there. The game is there.
Yeah.
Physically, not really happening for me. So that was a down. Again, wine season. We did our crush. We're actually about to press the wine. So I'm really excited for that. You obviously, you know, you've been in the throes of it. So excited for that. And then a little bit more on the downside. I've had, for the second time now, a mustache hair wedged so far in my teeth that I've had to get tweezers to pull them out. So, like, at first I was like, what is this? Like a piece of food? And it was like, no. And I was like, floss wasn't getting it done. And I, like, tweezers. And I pulled it out and I was like, oh. Okay, like I don't know what to make of it. Like, are they just falling out? Am I eating so vigorously that I'm actively pulling them in with the bite and then wedging them into my teeth? It was a low point for.
It's funny how like such a first world problem that is. It's like you have people in like the outback of Australia who are just trying not to get fucking bit by like a deadly adder or like a pit viper, and you're like, my mustache hair. You can see my
It
teeth.
was really wedged in
No,
there.
I know, dude. I've been there. It's not great.
Again, ups and downs. Right besides your possibly second degree burns. Yeah. How are you?
Good. School year is we're in it now. We're hitting the ground. We got a good flow going. And with that being said, tomorrow is the Jewish New Year of Rosh Hashanah, so we got that day off. In fact, October, our first full week doesn't happen until the 21st.
Okay.
So a lot of breaks. Soccer team is an absolute wagon. Kids are so much fun to coach and watch. Hockey has been a tough go so far this season as a parent. Doing some yard work. If you follow the Musterfield Wood Design on Instagram, doing a bunch of ghosts.
I have been seeing that.
Yeah, so different theme ghosts. So I got a couple I haven't posted in a while. So chipping away at that. And
speaking of posting, actually, I showed you. I'm gonna probably post this as I redid my whole Liverpool wall. Had some new things added. One of which up at the top is I'm not especially proud of it, but it's a beautiful soccer ball, which I did originally bring home for my darling daughter as a souvenir for my trip to Liverpool. And then as I looked at it, I was like, man, this is a real nice fucking
soccer ball. Yeah, it's really nice.
So I strategically put it downstairs for a little while so she forgot about it, and then hung it in a place where she can't get it.
Ultimate.
So I'll post that
power move.
I'll post that picture as well. But yeah, no, I think it really is rounded out. But yeah,
falls upon us.
Sure is.
Spooky season. Leaves are falling. As I exited the truck today to come on in, I was like,
it's crisp.
Yeah, it smells like fall.
Yeah. I've already ripped 2 fires in the wood stove. And I think a couple fires outside. This is my time of year where it's like you wake up, it's like 50 something degrees, it's crisp, it's cool out. You can get away with a lot of different clothing options.
Oh, yeah.
Do I go shorts and long sleeves? Do I go pants and short sleeves? Just the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in it right now.
Suck it down.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't, but anybody else who likes that can.
Yeah.
So yeah, couple little items I wanted to make note of as we just had our beloved team Liverpool play their second game in the Champions League, the new format, which, by the way, is pure fucking trash.
Oh, the new format?
I hate it.
So dumb.
And again, I want the players to go on strike because it's ridiculous. You're basically playing a game every 2 to 3 days for 10 or 11 months of the year if you have an international tournament.
It's like
you
way
basically
too
have
much.
July off. It's wild. So, but anyway, Liverpool got it done, got a win, 2-0, which set Arne Slot has actually made history for the first Liverpool manager to win 8 out of his first 9 games. Could have been a 9 for 9 if it wasn't for Nottingham Forest. But again, first coach to ever do it. These stats are what they are. He's actually, I think I like it. He's very matter of fact. Talking about the game, he's like, I like the goals. I like we won. There wasn't much else I liked about it. There's still work to be done. And when they talked to him about, making history, he goes, well, I hope that, this isn't the only thing I'm remembered for at Liverpool. So I like it. The very pragmatic, perfectionist approach. It's very different from the, I'm sure Klopp would have been just exuberant, talking about
very
the boys.
More emotional.
Yes, exactly. So I love them both for what they're doing, but hey, it is something to make note of.
Yep.
And then our beloved Mo Salah scored again, and it was a great goal, great individual goal.
Hair looks good.
Well, that was so most. He's now has the most Champions League goals than any other Liverpool player.
Wow.
He's got the most Champions League goals by any African player.
Saw that,
beating out Drogba, and yes, his hair is looking fantastic.
He's got that 3 all the way around, evening it out.
I kind of hope I like the.
You like the toit? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I like the wild Mo.
Yeah. I mean, if we talk about goal scoring form with hairstyles, I want this.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And lastly, one quick Mike Wall Honesty Hour is when we were doing the last episode talking about our players that crossed the line. My honorable mention, I believe I pronounced it Lineker. It's Lineker. So to Gary and his dirty draws.
Sorry.
My bad.
I've got a piece of news.
Ooh.
England apparently just closed down their last coal-fired power plant.
Huh.
Yeah, so like...
Fossil fuels.
Yeah, so like, does everything just not going to be covered in soot anymore? Like, I don't...
Ooh, it's a good question. We should add... I mean...
The peppered moths. Anyway,
yeah.
That was my 2-second.
We'll 2-second dig at the English.
I can't wait to go. I'm actually really excited.
Yeah?
If that's still happening.
If it will, we'll see. I haven't got the official invite yet. I've been told they're potentially going to be in the mail, but
right.
we'll see. But yeah, a little bit of a bummer. Our listener from Russia hasn't reached out to us yet. I'm still holding out hope that eventually we'll get an email and be able to share their story. But until then,
Yuri, reach out to us, please.
That's what you're assuming the name is?
I mean,
okay.
It's like 1 of 5.
Let's not offend the one listener we have in that country. Thank you.
Where are we going on today's venture, Mike?
We're not gonna go there yet because I'm just gonna probably skirt around that, just making fun of how many names Russian people have. But anyway, to reach us, to follow us, you can always find us on Instagram, VinoVolley85.
Yep.
On X, VinoVolley85. Don't really do anything on that. More importantly, vinovolley85@gmail.com. If you do need to reach out to us in any way, want to share your stories, anything like that, we'd love to hear from you. And then our website, vinovolley85.wixsite.com/vinovolley. And then, did I have any other housekeeping items? Actually, I did, speaking of Instagram, did want to give a shout out to Musto Wine Grape. They shared a picture of Justin and myself as we were in the throes of crushing grapes and gave them a likewise shout out. Best, it's the only game in town, but it's the best game in town. They've got a great line of products. We've always been able to put out an amazing wine with the grapes that they produce from their California vineyards, and the people couldn't be nicer, more accessible when you have any question. Because like a lot of this stuff is time sensitive. Like Justin and I were sitting, we were trying to figure out basically, when we were going to pitch the yeast, when we were going to do this, when we were going to do that, and we kind of were going through the spreadsheet and had a couple questions, and this was Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Christina, not expecting like an immediate reply, just being like, hey, like, Justin and I are kind of going through this. Within minutes, a call back.
Wow.
She talked us through it while she was in the car, like multitasking.
Yeah.
So, and was able to help us out, give us the answers and get us on our merry way so that we could continue with the wine. And so again, can't say enough good things, and so appreciative of them and obviously their post. All right. But if there's nothing else, to all our Vino Volleyers out there, it is time to pop those corks, indulge in a healthy pour, and dive stud showing into today's episode. So, Rye, for our 1-year anniversary,
yep,
we're going a little different.
We sure are.
Are we gonna get white girl wasted?
We're gonna get white girl wasted. I don't have school tomorrow.
I took tomorrow off because I'm going down to press the wine. So yeah, like let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
All right, Rye. So why don't you tell the folks the wine we'll be drinking for our 1-year anniversary?
We are going to be drinking the Chasing Venus Sauvignon Blanc. This is a New Zealand white wine. Something that I never thought we'd say on this podcast.
Me either.
But alas, here we are. Wine.com. It is sold out on Wine.com. It is a 12.5% ABV. Features screw cap. That's true. The tasting notes are short, but we are in for a pungent aromatic character with notes of exotic tropical fruit, freshly cut grass, and green bell pepper, along with a refreshing streak of stony minerality.
Well, if one of those flavor profiles is true, then I know that my wife and child will hate it, because the one time I brought a green pepper into this house, you would have thought I brought dog shit, because I got...
Really?
Oh yeah. Apparently it's red or dead kind of thing. Which, like, I agree with, like, my soccer team, but, like, I like a crisp, like, I was like, it's a green pepper.
They all taste the same.
I'm just telling you, Eleanor never lets me live it down. Like, she'd be like, Dada, do you remember when you got that green pepper? And I'm like, yeah, I do, because, like, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But, again, so... Never will I make that mistake.
Crowd,
yeah,
huh?
Never will I make that mistake again.
Jesus.
Red or dead when it comes to peppers. Or I guess actually orange. Apparently green is the only one that like was just a big.
But they're less expensive. Like,
hence,
ridiculous.
That's why I got it.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Let's drink some wine.
So,
how does this fit in with today's topic?
How does it fit in? So, Chasing Venus. Again, we sometimes really stretch with how we tie the wine to the episode. But the letters for this, Chasing Venus, is CV. And at least in the UK, someone's resume is called a CV. So it was decided that we each were going to pick 3 players who we think have the best CV. And
love it.
Again, loose interpretation.
So loose.
Take it as you will. I obviously know who your first pick is going to be.
100%.
Unless you saved it for the end. But there's no doubt. I bet... if we had done like a poll before airing this episode, vast majority of our listeners would be able to guess your number 1 pick.
Yeah, I actually wore jeans tonight, which was a bad idea because I'm going to just absolutely tongue bathe that player later. But
before we get into it, shall we cheers?
We shall.
And then I have one story to share.
Oh, please do. I feel like the white wine gives a different reverberation in the glass. There's no science behind that.
I think it's all just where we hit the glasses together. If it's below the liquid, then it's more muted.
This brings back some really bad memories.
So let's take our first. We'll take our first sip, and then I'll bring you at the last time I indulged in white wine.
Light fruit, kind of like peach on the nose, like a mango.
It's definitely light.
I see the tropical fruit smell like a honeydew.
No,
Professor Bunsen
more
honeydew.
Of like a guava.
Ooh, guava, maybe a little kiwi.
Yeah.
Exotic fruits. We're getting better. All right.
I feel like I can smell the pepper a little, the green bell pepper a little bit.
Yeah, like the inside of like a cord, like you just opened it up.
Yeah. Yeah, the part you're going to throw in the compost bin. Like, maybe we might do with this wine. I mean, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's a little tart. It's a little dry. I can taste that pepper, like the green pepper on the palate.
I get like a very cold, crisp green pepper.
Yeah. Biting into one right before I dip it into a whole bunch of ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Like a real fucking American.
Oh god! Every time I don't know if I can smell it. I feel like it just brings back. It's not bad. So I don't hate it.
The last time, as you're taking your first sips, the last time that I had white wine, I 1,000% got white girl wasted. It was none other than the amazing experience that is Wider Cup. So Ryan has experienced Wider Cup. You weren't at this one.
No, is that the second to last one?
I believe so. Okay. Yes, you were at the second to last one. So
we're drinking white wine at Wider Cup
because they put a fucking gallon of it at each table for free. Oh, that's true.
That's right.
So
it's coming back.
I was basically chugging it, and then it gets a little spotty. But at one point, I remember being in a circle or surrounded by people, and like just started lightly slapping them in the face, or which I think was lightly. Which, if any indication, your wedding, lightly slapping means I was probably just absolutely just hollering off and smacking people
coming
across
from the basement.
Face. Yeah. So that, so that moment ends, and then it's at the point where Matt's like, "All right, dude, your night's done," and is escorting me back to the room. So the room is basically like you walk through the door. It's a long hallway. It's just like a big L shape. It's a long hallway in L shape. And Matt has no idea. He's unawares to my scheming. But like I'm not ready to end my night. So I'm already planning my escape.
Yeah.
So like MacGyver, I'm just...
What's
like,
around me?
Exactly. Things in the room I'm picking out. So Matt, I'm over by the bed and I see I've got like a grocery bag filled with dirty clothes. And again, I don't know how I got to the situation, but Matt was in a spot where I basically took the bag of clothes, hit him across the face with it, and then as he was distracted, made my way. And as I ran, we had several like folding chairs in the room because we were playing video games. I grabbed the chair and like the movies, like threw it behind me to block the entryway.
Fruit cart.
Bolted and just bolted and made my way back. And Matt was like laughing hysterically. He's like, I didn't even see it coming, but yeah. So that was the, and then I think after that I might have, I punched Ron Kessler in the ass and like hyperextended my thumb so bad that like for weeks I couldn't even like twist off a soda cap.
Jesus.
So that was my last time getting White Girl. So it won't be happening again. I can tell you that.
All right, roger that. This brings me back to Roger Williams days where we went through a phase in my my room, my 106, where Trader Joe's around the holidays would have like a huge glass. It almost looked like a paddle of Pinot Grigio, and I'd buy 4 of them, and I'd bring them back to the dorm room, and we'd pretty much drink, each of us, one in a night. And it wasn't just like, it was like a gallon of
like
wine.
1.75 liters of...
Yeah, and it was blue, and it was shaped like a friggin' oar. And it was just, whoa! And so every time I smell white wine, that's what I get. But this, it's not bad. It's
not
clean.
bad. I will say I'm gonna level set. Like the rosé was, I think, hit more of flavor,
deeper notes.
Deeper notes are just more in my wheelhouse. Yeah. This, I'm tasting everything that was described.
Mm-hmm. Cut grass.
Okay. I didn't get that.
No, you didn't get that?
No. I definitely get like the green bell pepper and like that's what I'm getting primarily on the palate, and then more of the exotic fruits on the nose. If that's something you enjoy, I think this might be. So just going to air it out there. That's my current state. We'll see how it progresses as I,
all right. Get White Girl wasted.
Correct. All right. But so to that, it is time to get into our picks for greatest CV.
Yes.
Would you like to go first, or would you like me to?
I would like to see where your adventure takes us first, because we all know where I'm going to lead off, and I have a lengthy list.
You have more than 3 people?
No,
or just,
but like I did the reading.
Okay,
I did research.
So my first pick is none other than James Lee Duncan Carragher.
It's a great one.
So...
Didn't know Duncan was his second middle name.
Didn't know he had 2 middle names. I didn't even know he had a middle name.
I
didn't know his first name was James.
Oh, yeah.
I've literally only known him as Jamie Carragher.
That's true.
Yeah.
Learning so much.
I know. So, couple stats. I'm going to go through first, like, career, post-career, maybe dabble a little bit in the personal life. Why I think that he, as far as an English person, has one of the best CVs. So,
love it.
Obviously a Liverpool player, so that kind of gave a little bit higher stock. But he is second all-time list of appearances for Liverpool at 737.
Wow.
Which was pretty impressive. The trophies won while he was at Liverpool. 2 FA Cups, 3 Football League Cups, 2 FA Charity, the Community Shield, 1 Champions League, 1 UEFA Cup, and 2 UEFA Super Cups. So,
it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Kind of collaborating in some of his post-career. He's a Sky Sports pundit.
Sure is.
He's a columnist for The Telegraph. And most notably is part of the CBS Sports team with Kate Abdo.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry.
Big Dick TT.
Yeah, and Micah Riches. And then on top of that, he has a couple podcasts. So he has The Greatest Game with Jamie Carragher. He does Stick to Football, which is Gary Neville, Jill Scott, Ian Wright, and Roy Keane. So, and then he also has, it's called Soccer, which is just coming out, which is Rebecca Lowe, him, and also Gary Neville, which is funny. Like, I mean, those two hated each other, but I feel like they've, in post careers have become, pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And then outside of professional and post-career, Carragher's worked with Andy Grant, who's a former Royal Marine who lost his right leg in an explosion in Afghanistan, to promote Grant's autobiography and story. Carragher also supported the Cotton Street Project, a shelter for Liverpool's most vulnerable people. And his partner, Nicola Hart, was his high school sweetheart, which I think is adorable.
Love it.
And she's beautiful as well. So, good for him.
Yep.
And then just one stat that, can round out that CV is Carragher scored a total of 11 goals in his career. Unfortunately, 7 of them were in his own net.
That's a good one.
Yes. So, yeah, that's my first pick.
It's a great pick. All around. I hope he's an all around good guy.
He also has a restaurant. I couldn't figure out though if it was his or someone just it's Carragher's is in New York. It's either his restaurant or it's just named after him. I know he has been there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's his restaurant. But anyway, so again, guy's philanthropy, and has done well for himself.
Love it.
After the game, and had a pretty decent career as well. And on a personal level, it looks like he's got a couple great kids and a beautiful wife. So
love that.
Giving it up to Jamie Carragher.
Also, quality
we
pundit.
all dream of a team of Carraghers, a team of Carragher, and he has a great song too. So
yeah, just a quality player, really good commentator. I like what he brings to it, and even though he's hometown guy, still is very.
Was born. I mean, his father's. He was an Everton fan.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then obviously once actually coming into the Liverpool Academy, that was that. Now, for your first pick, can we do a countdown and say it at the exact same time?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and then say it. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
David Beckham. Yes,
okay.
It's in fact David Beckham. It was the easiest pick I think I've ever done on this episode ever. David Beckham, not only universal, just sex, not even symbol, just
pure hot sex,
just sex. I watched a thing with him on the Instagram last week, 2 weeks ago. It was literally just him walking around his garden. I'm like, this motherfucker is captivating, even when he's literally just look at my bees. It's my bees. I'm like, the fucking bees. And he's got a fucking wool sweater on, just so goddamn handsome. Anyway, why is his resume so impressive? He is a 6-time Premier League winner. He is the first English player to win 4 titles in 4 different countries. Now, the last one I was like, wait a second. USA was with the LA Galaxy.
Yep.
England with Man United.
Mm-hmm.
España with Real Madrid. And then was PSG. A hot minute with PSG. I think he only played 10 games. In fact, and let me go down, he donated all of his PSG salary to children's charities in France. Love that. Moving on. 19 major trophies won in his career. He was the FIFA Player of the Year in 1999 and 2001. He was the runner-up for the Ballon d'Or and had 3 World Cup appearances. Now, those are just his playing days, to name a few. There was FA Cups and Community Shield and shit like that.
Didn't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No.
Okay.
Post-playing days. Pretty much founded and is an owner of Inter Miami. That's kind of a big deal. Making money. He also is the majority owner of Salford City, where it is that was his boyhood club that he bought the 10% stock in amongst that. So that's cool. Lifetime contract with Adidas. So he's only an Adidas guy. He signed a 10-year contract with Pepsi when he was playing. That's pretty cool. As a Diet Pepsi guy myself. He's a global ambassador for Maserati. He, during his career, made an estimated £1 million in T-shirts and cleats, which I feel nowadays would be way more. Think about it. In his heyday, Yeah, there was like an East Bay catalog, but you weren't ordering things online.
I know.
So, he's a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador.
By the way, kind of go back in that. You remember how you used to order things from catalogs? They used to have the form.
Yeah. And
I used to get it from Oriental Trading. They had all like the really cheap stuff you would get for Halloween, and like my brother and I would put like coins in an envelope and be like, "All right, we're just sending it in the mail.
Hope this works." Yeah. Wild times. Just this shit always showed up.
But I digress.
Like I said, he donated all his PSG salary. He was part of a Malaria No More Council.
Yeah, fuck malaria.
He was the topic of the movie Bend It Like Beckham.
I mean, did you see the movie?
No.
He's not. I mean, is in the name.
But the concept
is like, no.
I mean, I don't have a movie named after me.
It's not about him, but we'll put it in the accolades.
He was also named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive.
Fine.
Which, I mean, you could just run that out every year. Calvin Klein model. Kind of a big deal. Married a Spice Girl.
The Spice Girl.
The Spice Girl. I mean, whatever your flavor was. Now, she didn't do it necessarily for me, but...
Did we talk about this?
No.
She wasn't yours?
No.
Which one?
Ginger Spice.
Oh.
Yeah. Busty.
Okay.
I mean, it checks out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then my last thing... part of his post-playing days. This is an overarching thing. It's also an absolute... It's in caps, he is an absolute snack. So there you go. David Beckham.
If that wasn't abundantly apparent before Ryan openly said it, he's an attractive man.
He's probably the most successful English footballer. Most decorated in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the low-hanging fruit, but I didn't want to steal your thunder because... I just knew that he was going to be on the list.
I think kids nowadays may not necessarily know who he is. I mean, he's
the guy who owns Messi.
Right. There's probably that, or probably just who's that older guy with the tattoos who's just so fucking hot? It's David Beckham.
Now, the way he can bend it is because he's bow-legged.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
He also wanted to have a unique kicking style. That was in the documentary. I gotta rewatch that. That was good. I enjoyed it.
Maybe watch Bend It Like Beckham so you can get a little... That was the one asterisk on the... Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's my one.
My second is Sir Robert Charlton. Was an English professional footballer who played as an attacking midfielder, left winger, or center forward, and is widely considered one of the greatest players of all time. He is a 1966 FIFA World Cup winner. It's probably back in the day when England embraced the bidet.
Yeah.
Because the cleanliness now just too tight.
Yeah.
Wound up too tight. He is a 1966 Ballon d'Or winner.
Whoa.
Yeah. And he finished second in the Ballon d'Or in 1967 and 1968.
Damn.
Again, back in the days where England dominated the game, but... Again, still impressive in its own right.
Still got to do it. Still got to play.
He played almost all of his club football at Manchester United, where he became renowned for his attacking instincts, passing abilities from midfield, ferocious long-range shooting with both left and right foot, fitness, and stamina. Now, you could cut a roast on his face, but, I mean... okay, so he doesn't fall into that, but as far as on the football pitch...
Yes.
Pretty impressive.
Not my team.
Only 2 cautions in his entire career. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Right?
That's
now again
crazy.
As we've seen, we're not even talking that long ago, but some of the bone crunch, it was a much more physical game, but still.
Yeah.
Two cautions, 2 yellows in your entire career
guy out there.
is wild. So once was against Argentina in the 1966 World Cup,
okay,
and the other was a league match against Chelsea, and fuck Chelsea, so they probably had it coming anyway.
Wow.
He is one of 9 players to have won the FIFA World Cup, the European Cup, and the Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
He was born in Ashington, Northumberland. Charlton made his debut for the Manchester United first team in 1956 at 18 years old. Soon gained a regular place in the team. He survived the Munich air disaster, February
Jesus.
1950. Yeah, that I was like, damn.
Yeah.
After being rescued by teammate Harry Gregg, Charlton was the last survivor of the plane crash from the club.
Whoa.
I didn't look into like total casualties, but still, it's a fucking plane crash.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So after helping United to win the FA Cup in 1963 and the Football League in 1965 and 67, he captained the team and won the European Cup in 1968, scoring 2 goals in the final to help them become the first English club to win the competition. So I thought that was, talk about
big
games. So obviously he had a stint in the England national team for 4 World Cups, 1958, 62, 66, and 70. Though he did not play in the first, at the time of his retirement for the England team in 1970, he was the nation's most capped player, having turned out 106 times at the highest level. Eventually Bobby Moore overtook this in 1973. Charlton was also a longtime record goal scorer for both Manchester United and England, and United's longtime record appearance maker. His total of 758 matches for United took until 2008 to be beaten by Ryan Giggs, who's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, big time piece of shit. He's the one that cheated on his wife?
Cheated with his brother's wife.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's the biggest piece of shit. With 249 goals, he was the club's highest all-time goal scorer for more than 40 years until his record was surpassed by Wayne Rooney in 2017. I actually watched that goal. It was a free kick. It was pretty impressive. And he was also the 3rd highest goal scorer for England. His record of 49 goals was beaten in 2015 by Rooney, and then again in 2022 by fucking Mouth of Marbles, Harry Kane.
Oh, Harry Kane.
So again, I couldn't get much from his post-life soccer career, but
yeah.
I think the Acolytes.
Wow.
He survived a freaking plane crash in 1966 or 1968.
Damn,
like
that's crazy.
Just wild.
Yeah.
1958. Sorry, but yeah. So yeah, that's my second pick.
Nice.
Bobby Charlton.
Nice. This is where I diverge from the path. My second pick, and while this isn't a lengthy list, I think in importance and relevance is why I chose this person. My second most impressive resume, CV if you will, Martin Tyler. Now, while he never played the game at the professional level, which I knew was a qualification.
No. It was who you think has the best CV.
He, Sky Sports commentator from 1990 to 2023 for both the Premier League and the Champions League. He was the voice that was the first American televised network Champions League final. They used his call on it in 2010. That's kind of a big deal.
Huge.
He was lead commentary on the 2010 World Cup. He's assistant coaching for like a bunch of small level teams, just like being involved in sport, like assistant coaching, being an advisor of sorts. The reason why I chose him,
FIFA.
Yes.
I'm Martin Tyler.
Yeah. Between 2005 to 2020, he was the voice of FIFA, which is,
it's burned into my brain.
Yeah, it literally.
Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Yeah. I literally. So I was like finishing up my notes today, and I like yelled downstairs. I'm like, Ryder. He's like, what? I was like, who's the commentator for FIFA? He's like, which one? I'm like, just give me one. He's like, Martin Tyler. I'm like, yeah. See, it's just in your brain. Yeah. So I think while not a player, the cultural relevance of his voice and his calls is why he's number 2 on my list.
My last pick, and he's been brought up on several podcast episodes for various reasons.
Okay.
Is Vinnie Jones.
Oh, okay, all right.
Why, do you think I had your third
No,
pick?
I almost did Vinnie Jones, and I was like, I wonder if... Go on.
So, we'll obviously get to what I think we know him most for, but
yes,
give you a little backstory of old Vinnie Jones.
Please do.
Began playing as a teenager in local amateur football. 19-year-old Jones was signed on semi-professional terms by Wheatstone of the Alliance Premier League in 1984. and then actually did have a small stint at Manchester United, but his biggest claim to fame was actually beating Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
For Wimbledon, where I think he played majority of his career. But he had a loan at IFK Holzmund. He played for Wimbledon. He played for Leeds United. He played for Sheffield United. He had a small stint at Chelsea, then returned to Wimbledon, played for Queen's Park Rangers. And his international career, I don't think he knew he wasn't good enough, but through various means, he was able to get Welsh citizenship.
Oh.
So he played for Wales. His playing style, which I think we've kind of talked about. Jones was known for his hard man image on the pitch. He was sent off 12 times in his career, as well as holding the record for the quickest ever booking in a football match, being booked after just 5 seconds for a foul on the opposition player, Dane Whitehouse, in an FA Cup tie between Chelsea and Sheffield United in 1992. In his autobiography, he recalls, "I must have been too high, too wild, too strong, or too early, because after 3 seconds, I could hardly have been too bloody late." And then, in an incident in February 1988, Jones was famously photographed covertly grabbing Paul Gassion by his testicles during a league game for Wimbledon against Newcastle United. Those aren't even his controversies. We're going to get to those.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, apparently he was also the presenter for the Soccer Hardman video released in 1992, which featured archive footage of him and many other hard men of the game, and included advice for budding hard men. After the release of the video, Jones was fined £20,000 and given a 6-month ban, suspended for 3 years for bringing the game into disrepute.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. So,
Wow.
Wimbledon chairman branded Jones a mosquito brain. After this incident, Jones failed to stay out of trouble. After exceeding 40 disciplinary points that season, he was once again summoned to the Lancaster Gate, the headquarters of the Football Association, but failed to appear. The FA banned Jones indefinitely. Yeah.
What a fucking menace.
Oh, yeah, he's just an absolute wild man. So.
Damn.
But obviously, you take that out of the equation. Post-soccer, he's a man that found a career in Hollywood.
Yep.
And is been an actor in 108 movies.
Really?
Yeah. Some of the, which I listed as the most notable.
Yep.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yep.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yep.
Snatch.
One of my favorites.
Swordfish. She's the Man. That's Amanda Bynes.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think.
Anyway. He's like the coach.
Oh, okay.
He's like the soccer coach. X-Men The Last Stand. The Gentleman, the TV series. And then he's been in Law & Order, Arrow, Deception, and Gallivant.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like, from an American, those are the ones, but there's a bunch of like British movies that I'm sure might have been pretty popular. But yeah, so Hard Man, Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie
Jones. My third pick.
It's a great one. All right, to round it out, I stayed in Britain for this next one. Really take a guess?
Stayed in Britain. I got nothing.
This one surprised me upon research, but as I was reading this player's resume, I'm like, all right, it is pretty good. It's Gareth Bale.
But he's
Welsh.
Yeah.
So it's still Britain.
Great Britain. Or the UK.
I'm not ready to bring up maps.
Well, because it's the UK. Well, okay.
Gareth Bale, MBE, I should say, as he was chosen the most excellent order of the British Empire, which, if you're wondering, it is an order of chivalry, rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and public service outside the civil service. So he's been given this title via the king and queen.
The monarchy.
The monarchy.
Okay.
So.
All right. We'll give it to
again,
you.
I was like looking around. I wanted to think outside the box. I already had Martin Tyler, so at that point, I was already off the rails.
Yeah.
Coincidence started his career at Southampton, which we talked about last week.
Sure.
Obviously played for Tottenham. Made most of his money and fame with Real Madrid, and then played for the Welsh national team. He won the FIFA Club World Cup Golden Ball. He has 3 La Liga titles, a 5-time Champions League winner. He's won the Welsh Footballer 6 times, 6 years in a row, which I mean, like, who else are you going to compare him to, right? Like, not for nothing. He was responsible for helping Wales qualify for the World Cup, first time in 64 years when they qualified in 2022. He won the MLS Cup with Los Angeles Football Club. Apparently doesn't even speak Welsh. I don't know how. He's got a friggin' massive mouth. Has partnerships with Adidas and EA Sports over his career. Apparently on the Instagram, he earns £185,000 per sponsored post. He is the second highest per post Instagram soccer player. Do you know who the first one is?
Ronaldo.
David Beckham.
Fuck.
David Beckham.
Wait. What was it? Followers?
No. Money per sponsored post.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I should probably listen.
He is part of a few organizations like 11 Against Ebola, which that's pretty self-explanatory. He, during the pandemic, him and his wife donated £1 million to help COVID-19, both in Spain and in Britain. Also, and this is kind of like the boss move. So I'm sure you heard the rumors when he got signed with LA Galaxy for a 12-month thing. It's like, oh, just because he wants to play golf. And it was injured half the time, but like still managed to like. So in his home in Madrid, that's where he lives, he has the 17th hole at Sawgrass at his house in Madrid.
That's sick.
Yeah. Apparently a 3 to 4 handicap golfer. And has one of the most well-known man buns.
Second only to Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan. That's a full-blown pony, though.
No, he's got it up in a bun.
Yeah, but Bale's got the weird shave thing on the side. I feel like it's a whole different thing. He's got he's got the white samurai.
Okay.
Whereas Zlatan has like the full-blown, that's a full-blown pony man bun.
So you just added pony in front of man bun to make it different.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It's not shit.
Semantics.
Zlatan can do whatever he wants.
Anyway.
So yeah, I thought just based on his playing resume, like really sneaky good. Obviously, he fizzled out towards the end, but like,
yeah,
those Real Madrid teams,
I mean,
wagons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always hate him for the bicycle kick he scored against Liverpool in the Champions League final, but I mean, those 2 of those goals were. Yeah,
he also married his high school sweetheart. Another
one. Okay,
so
I'll give him a bonus for that.
Yeah.
He's got a face like an orangutan, though.
Oh, yeah. He's got that big old jaw for a bro.
What was it? Homo habilis.
Yes.
Bringing it back.
Yes, Australopithecus as well. And that's my third.
All right. I think it's a pretty good list.
I think so, too. I think we did great.
All right. So, this wine, it is what it is.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm not going to... I don't think it's changed at all.
No.
All right, so...
It's a screw top.
It's a screw top. So with that, shall we get into the most punchable face?
Yes.
I go back and forth between... I feel like we've used Backpfeifen Gesicht a lot.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, well, if we ever did the Bundesliga, that's when we should use it. And then if we go to Spain, we should use whatever the Spanish phrase would be for punch in the face. So as it's going to be our last team in the Premier League for the foreseeable future, we're ending it the way we started, with the most punchable face. And for this time, it is none other than Leicester City.
It is, which I think holds a soft spot in our hearts. Like, they're a true underdog story.
5,000 to 1. There's no. I don't think there's ever been a bigger underdog story.
No,
5,000. No way.
Other than Dodgeball, the underdog.
Correct.
Story.
Yes, but real life, here and now. So, would you like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Now we spoke before.
Yes.
I dedicated a lot of time and effort into my list.
And it shows, buddy.
Thanks,
you did
man.
great.
I appreciate it. Look, I got bullet points. I was checking things off. I made some notes as well.
Hey, look how far we've come in. You've come in a
You've
year.
the reading.
You've got a computer. You're taking notes. You're writing stuff down.
I've got a phone.
Doing the homework.
A belly button.
Oh my god! If 1 year ago could see us now.
My pick, just purely based on the picture, I have to go with Wout Weiss. And this has to be the picture that gets posted.
Just send it to me and I'll post it.
I will. This picture comes up on the, if you type in Google, Wout Weiss. That's Wout Face if you're trying to spell it. A Belgian professional footballer. He is the center back for Leicester City. And this picture makes him look like he is either coming or going, or he's like ripping a guitar solo for like a local like dive bar type band. He's like, yeah, woo! He's got like the long curly unkempt hair, and just looks like he's did a few much booger sugar back in his days. But so Wout Weiss. Oh, Weiss. Wout Weiss is going to get it for me.
All right.
It looks like his hair doesn't match his face. Like, someone needs to advise him on this. Like, it's beautiful head of hair, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it's wild.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
All right.
Wout Weiss.
Good pick. As you said, he was the one I remember. It was before Leicester got relegated. He played in a game against Liverpool. It was a terrible game. Liverpool was awful, and Leicester scored 3 goals and lost the game 2-1.
Yeah.
Because he had 2 own goals. So, yep. All right. So, I'm going to go to as I've been doing lately, has been going to the official website, because I feel like that is,
all right.
It's a good, if you go like, this is the team photo.
Oh.
Like, these are the ones that they thought were like, these are the winners.
Okay. This is the Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, yeah.
Big guy, small guy.
Exactly, yep. So, I went...
Wait, hold on. Where's Wout Weiss?
He'd be in defenders.
All right, let's just...
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Chiseled, he's
got
like a Superman job, but like, dude, maybe it's just the hair.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So I went... Can you guess?
Did you do Oliver Skip?
I did Oliver Skip. So, okay. I'm going to paint a picture here.
Please do. All right.
So, the look on his face is one we have never seen in ourselves, but know it all too well. All right, let me paint this picture.
I'm trying not to.
This is the face of sweet, sweet relief. The face of someone at least 2 pounds lighter. The face of pure triumph and disgust simultaneously. The face of a man who uses no aerosols, sprays, or candles and simply basks in his own greatness in shame. Yes, you've guessed it. This is the face of a man who's taken a huge shit.
Yes.
And that, my friends, is unfortunately his everyday smile that he chose to utilize on his official team photo. And it is for, it's just like look at it's just like pure relaxation.
His face looks like he's just like, you don't want to go in there, man.
Yeah. So I asked myself, because looking at this and really just like, as I painted that picture, am I above punching a man while he's defenseless on the shitter? I'm not.
No.
I would just run in there, kick the stall open.
Yeah.
As he's just panting from exhaustion, just lay one on him. So yeah, it was just like, again, like, if your face is your face, but I mean, there's other photos out there.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look that derpy, whereas like this one is just like just, like when you watch like your little one just like absolutely try and hammer one into a diaper and then just like looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the dead eyes.
Yeah.
He looks like Daniel Radcliffe strung out. Like he looks like aged out Daniel Radcliffe.
I guess I could see it. I don't
I could definitely
I don't
see
like
it.
to badmouth Daniel Radcliffe.
You throw some circular glass and give him a little X on the forehead. That's
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe's delicious asshole.
Yeah, that's methed out
That's
Danny
Mad-
Rads right there.
All right. So yeah, that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a good pick.
All right. So now-
Meanwhile, the guy next to him, Bubakari Sumari, is looking through me.
oh yeah, he doesn't like anything of what we've said, and he's going to let us know about it.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right. So now that we've wrapped that up,
Episode 25.
episode 25, why don't we give our closing thoughts on the wine?
Yes.
And then we'll actually talk about the league and team we will be deciding for next week,
All right.
as well as the topic.
Love it.
So, Rye,
Yes.
do you have a score in mind? Are you ready to go?
Yeah. I'll go. It's fine. As you mentioned before, I think rose. If we're gonna go lighter, I think rosé is where I draw the line. I mean, I'm sure with a certain meal, it would hold a place. Like I think an Italian white, like a Pinot Grigio, has its place. I just don't. Like it's fine. It's crisp. It's refreshing. I'll go like 7.4.
Okay.
7.4. It's fine. Like. If people drink white wine and they want to give it a run, you might really enjoy it. I have no complaints. It's kept my second-degree burn on my hand cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going 7.4, picking it, sticking it.
All right. I agree. I think it's crisp. I think the notes, the wild fruit, the tropical fruit you get on the nose, I got a little bit more on the palate, but mostly it's that crisp, refreshing green bell pepper. It's tart. And again, it's enjoyable cold. If I had a choice of anything else, would I choose it? Most likely.
Yeah.
In wine, in wine
Yeah.
category, I'm going to give this a 6.5.
Okay, I think it's a more than fair score. Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
not your
got
glass
to
of
be
wine.
on. Exactly. So that wraps that up. So, where do you want to go in the world?
Where do I want to go in the world? I think we should do La Liga next.
All right.
I want to go to España.
We're going to go. All right. So, now that we've wrapped up all the teams that we can currently in the Premier League,
Yes.
we are going to travel to Spain. And I think
Vámonos.
if we're going to go to Spain, we might as well pick the Spanish Giants.
Yep. El Gigante de España.
Real Madrid.
You're getting a lot of this.
Yeah, I know. I'm greatly regretting it. We should have gone to Germany. But hey, we're here, so...
Ikari Dirtfall.
Yeah, so next up, next
right.
episode, we're traveling to Spain, and we're going to start with none other than Real Madrid for
Awesome.
the most punchable face.
Let's go there.
All right, so now that we've decided our next point of origin, why don't you tell the folks the wine we'll be drinking so I can tell them how it ties to the episode.
We are going to be drinking Squid Ink. It is a reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. Cab Sav.
Cab Sav. So Squid Ink, as we've used that term on the podcast before. We love it as it's just something that's super dark, super inky. And so as we're in the throes of October, spooky season, something dark and inky, we're going to... God, I'm glad that I get to do the intro next episode.
Yeah.
Just bring us back to some normalcy.
Balance. You're the yin to my yang.
Exactly. But talking about spooky season, darkness, the Squid Ink, we are going to be picking our list of ghost players.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Those that we wish would come back from beyond the grave,
Yep.
gone too soon, and just a little bit about why we want them.
Yeah.
So we'll do 3,
Yep.
honorable mention,
Yep.
ghost players,
Ghost players.
next episode.
Yep.
Done, dusted,
Yep. Squid Ink.
Squid Ink.
The darkness.
All right. Well, we've hit that time once again, and we would love to keep going. But after VAR review, we are officially out of wine, and thus we'll need to put the final cork in this episode and say, listen to us next time on another very exciting, very spooky episode of Vino Volley. So, Ryan,
Yes.
you know what to do.
I do. Folks, remember, Ryan Giggs is a piece of shit. And remember to sip and soccer responsibly. We bid you a Freddie adieu.